Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to look at my fixed blade collection of knives, and I believe this is all of them. I'm not sure. I've got them kind of spread around, but these are the ones, my main user ones for sure. And let's just jump right into it, and let's start with these. These are Mora knives. I super highly recommend Mora knives for an outdoor knife. They're very tough, very rugged, even though they don't seem like it. They hold a pretty good edge for a Scandi grind. One thing I'm going to tell you, you're going to notice a lot of these are Scandi grind. I like Scandi grind for a woods knife. I like bushcraft style knives for woods knives for camping and hiking and stuff like that. These are very lightweight, so they're not going to weigh down your pack. This one is the stainless one. I think it's like 14C28N or something like that is the stainless that they use. It's a Swedish stainless steel. Usually these Mora knives come with a hard plastic sheath. It's like this. Super lightweight, but it protects your knife and keeps it dry. They do lock in pretty decently. They stay in there okay. I don't use the sheaths that come with them. I like to use a leather sheath like this. And this one actually came with a different knife. This sheath actually comes with this knife. But it fits a lot of different knives. So I kind of like that. That's what I like to carry mine in. This one, really nice with the bright orange handle if you drop it or whatever. Easy to find. So this is the Mora Bushcraft is the model of this one. And I have another, which is a 1095 carbon steel, and this is also a Mora Bushcraft. Very grippy in the handle, very comfortable, no hot spots, and I think they're like $28 or something like that. Might even be able to find them for less, and that's what makes them such a great deal. And again, it fits in this little taco sheath here really nicely. So speaking of that, we'll just jump right over to this guy, which for the money is actually a pretty decent knife. This is the Boker Plus Bushcraft knife. It's black linen micarta. It's very smooth. It's nice. It's got kind of a front choil that you reach up and grab onto. It's got a nice 90-degree spine. So do those Moras for striking a flint steel. Like, let me find one here. Like this right here. For making sparks, for starting a fire. If you guys have seen any of the bushcraft videos, I'm sure you've seen it a lot. I can't even get that one out right now, and I'm not going to mess with it. But maybe sometime I'll have to get out into a bushy craft type video and try some of these out and show you guys how it works. I've used this one quite a bit. It's 440C, which I found for an outdoors knife is really good. 440C, it's not a super steel, doesn't hold the edge forever, but it doesn't chip as easy because it's a little bit softer, which is nice. I like that a lot because in some of the seals, like we're going to talk about another knife, the higher end seals like S30V and stuff like that are kind of chippy. So, and it makes it easier to sharpen when you get that Scandi grain. This one kind of has a secondary bevel because the Scandi grain on it wasn't the greatest. But I'm going to tell you, I think this knife was like $30 something, and for that price, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. Very comfortable in hand again, which is what I like. I like a knife that I can use for a long time and not hurt my hand. So let's move on to, this is just another, I think this is the Mora Companion, kind of a smaller version of the Bushcraft. Again, great little knife, nice grippy handle. Also stainless, that Sandvik stainless steel. So really good, really good. Great bargain knife. And then this one is made by Bahco, but I also think it's made probably in the same factory as Mora's because it kind of reminds me of a Mora. And this really isn't, this is actually a carpentry tool type knife, but it's also a great woods knife too. It's made out of a tool steel. You can see it's got a little bit of rust and patina on it. I'm not sure which tool steel because it doesn't say. The thing with this one is you got that nice straight blade with a hard corner, but then you also have a chisel on it for doing different things for chiseling. You can wrap on it or whatever to split something, and it's just handy around the house, handy in the woods. Great little tool. And the next one, let's line these back up here a little bit. Let's go to this one. This is my most expensive one. This is Kendall Hughes Custom KH knives. It's supposed to be KK and H in the middle. Probably one of the first knives he ever sold, I think. He was just kind of getting into it when he started making knives, and he made this one for me. It was a special order. Really nice, full handle, black and blue G10. I believe this is 1095 steel, which he polished up really nice. You can see, hello. Super sharp, nice great edge on it. Really good grind. Nice thick, probably 3/16 steel on there. And it fits really nicely also into the same sheath. So that's what I use for it. It also has, I also have a sheath that he sent me, but I kind of like this one just a little bit better. So great, great knife. I love the kind of Coke bottle thing that he did with it. Doesn't slide out of your hand, but yet it's still nice and round enough that it carves pretty nicely. It's a good knife. Also, kind of on the custom side, this is an Enzo. What model is it? Trapper. And this was actually a kit knife that was made for me by Rob over at the Apostle P channel. This is D2 steel. This is before the big infusion of Chinese D2 steel. So, also a great knife. I've tipped it a couple times and had to kind of put a tip on it. It's seen quite a bit of use. It's cleaned a few fish. When he sent it to me, it kind of had a bead blast, kind of rough sanded G10 on it, but I kind of smoothed it out a little bit more. And you put that handy little pinky lanyard on there so you can put your hand in there like that. You don't have to worry about losing it or sliding out. Great little bushcraft knife. Really nice. And of course, coming from Rob over there, it had a really, really good edge, but as you can see now, it's seen some wear and tear. It's time to spend some time on the whetstones. This is a Genesis 2 LT Wright knives. You can see his maker mark on there. This is A2 tool steel, green micarta. This is what they call kind of a broomstick handle. And then you got these scallops at the front for doing like reverse pull cuts or reaching up with a finger grip or whatever. Super comfortable. Very much perfect for bushcraft. You want a blade that's about as wide as your palm. And that's what that is. Really nice. And this one came with a really interesting sheath. It came with, when I bought it off the Apostle P channel on one of his used knife sales. And it came with this fancy little sheath here, which, if I can get this in there right, snaps in, nice Kydex. Has a deal where you can loosen and pull this up and it cinches the Kydex even tighter. Has a little sharpening wand on here. I don't know about using that too much, but I guess in a pinch it would come in handy. And then with this kind of a leather dropper loops deal on there. And I like it, but for me, I kind of like leather better. This is cool, but if you're in the woods and you're trying to be quiet, every little stick or twig is going to bang on that and make noise. So I went to DLT Trading, and that's where I got this guy. And I kind of like the dropper loop better anyway. And with it free swinging, it has less tendency to get in your way and cause trouble, or when it doesn't jab you in the ribs. So, which is nice. And you can see this fits in there just like that, nice and snug. Isn't going to come out. Just a great little package. Holds your fire rod right there pretty easy. So that's really great. And I think other knives fit in this one as well, if I remember right. Is it this one that also fits in it? Yeah. I could also throw an Enzo Trapper in here, which is nice. Oops, sorry. And same thing, has a nice 90-degree spine for throwing sparks and doing your cutting. I also like to carry an axe or a hatchet and then also a saw. So I don't need a big, huge knife. I know some people are really into the big, huge knife thing, which is nice, and because they don't want to carry an axe, and I get that. And that's just not me. That's not my style. I used to be that way. I had one of those great big buck knives that nothing fancy, but made a big deal about. It had like a 10-inch blade or something like that. And sure, it's great. You can baton through big chunks of wood and this and that. But I kind of like using a hatchet or an axe and carrying a knife on the side, because they say that you can do everything with a big knife that you can do with a small knife, but you can't do everything with a big, small knife that you can do with a big knife. And I guess that's true. But, take a knife this big and go and try to cut up a pickle for your sandwich. It just isn't the same. It's just not the same. So that's where something like this really comes in handy. The next one I got here is one that I just got, actually. And this is the Cold Steel Pendleton Hunter. And I didn't realize it was such a small knife when I saw it. I didn't really read the specs, and I got it. And I actually really like it. Now, this one here is probably going to end up in my kitchen as a paring knife, or maybe just a side carry for fishing or something. I don't think I would try to do a full camp out with this knife, or I don't know. I mean, you probably could, but I don't know. A little bit small for batoning, and it comes with this really cute little sheath. That's like a plastic Boltron or whatever they call it sheath, and that's really nice. It's not Kydex by any means, and nice little secure strap to lock it on. It's really simple, but it's really good, really nice. And then you got this deal, you can put it on your belt. And what's nice with that is when it's on your belt and up against your belly, that you're not going to snag this and lose it. And it looks like you probably could put a clip on there or something if you want to carry it scout style or whatever as a little backup knife. Or you could probably throw it in your pocket. It's small enough to do that. So I really like this. And for the price, $30 or whatever, it should be great. This is AUS 10, which so far seems to be like an okay steel. I think it would be a great outdoorsman steel. And I think it's going to be great kitchen steel, because I know it's going to be very rust resistant, because AUS 8 and AUS 10 are really good for the rust resistant part of it. So very nice, thin little blade on there, ground thin behind the edge. It's very sharp, so I'm impressed by it. Let me know down in the comments if you want reviews of these knives. Some of them I don't even know if you can get anymore, but I'll be happy to do reviews of them. So I know fixed blade guys, there's not really a ton of fixed blade guys out there. Lastly is this one here, and I don't even know what these are worth anymore, or if they're valuable. I know they don't make them anymore. This is the Pekka Tuanatin Spyderco Pekka Tuanatin Puukko. Brown G10, S30V steel, brass rings holding it in. I believe it's full tang, but it's inside that G10. Super ergonomic. And if you look at the shape of that handle, and you take your hand and you go like that, see how that kind of matches? Super ergonomic. Definitely want to be careful. There's no guard on it or anything like that. But great little knife, except for probably one detail. It's S30V, and it's a little bit chippy. So it's no longer at zero grind. I don't zero grind it anymore. I put a little micro bevel on it, so that helps with the chippiness. But great little knife, and it comes with a dangler sheath as well. And this is an excellent little dangler sheath that they give you with it. So slides right in there just like that. Hangs off, doesn't get in your way. Great little knife, great little size. It's robust, but it's also fairly lightweight because of the double milling and stuff like that on the edge of the blade. Has a sharp spine, you can throw sparks with it. And like I said, very ergonomic in all the grips. So, yeah, so that's my fixed blade collection. quick little tip for you guys: don't store your knives in the sheath. It's not good for it collects moisture and they will rust. Maybe not so bad in a plastic sheath, but and then if you have tool steel like this one, do yourself a favor and get you some EDCI solution or whatever you like to use to keep them rust resistant, and make sure you use that on them. And you know, on wet days, carry the S30V. On nice sunny days, carry the D2. And like I said, this D2 is before the whole Chinese D2 thing, and it seems to not be so easily corroded. So that's nice. And Rob just did a really nice job on this knife. So my favorite color, blue. Oh, that's great. So anyway, get your wife and kids, turn off the television, get outside, enjoy the outdoors. Hope you're having a great weekend. Toad Sticker out.